What's happening, Shredder Nation? Happy Sunday. Welcome to the official November launch of the November 2021 Shred. I'm freaking excited. I have two of my very dear best friends, Miss Susan Rothman with me tonight, Miss Heather Sica Leonard, our Shreducator, our holistic nurse, part of our ER Shred board, and we are freaking jazzed to bring you guys some tips and tricks. We have a brand new shred that's starting tomorrow. What are we at? Like hundreds that are actually going to be involved in this? Does anybody even have an idea? Hundreds, right? Like hundreds of freaking people have raised their hand. They've stepped up for the sole purpose of they believe now in their brain, hopefully, that they deserve to feel freaking awesome every single day. You see, that's the main concept. That's the difference when you come to ER Shredland and ER Shred community is that this is not about some rinky dinky freaking diet. Yes, it's an 11-day protocol. Yes, it's the tracks to get you on. Yes, all of us believe in it. We've watched it create amazing things for people. Assist those people. Those people then obviously take that information, put it to good use, learn along the way, and it's just been absolutely amazing. So we want to make sure that we bring you some tips and tricks to help you crush it and destroy it over the next 11 days that will also help you set yourself up for a longer journey, because this is 11 days is just the mere starting point, and from there, the sky's the limit. And as we've seen, the longer you go, the more jazzed up you are, the better you feel. So let's get this party started. We're going to start with Heather Sica Leonard, our Shreducator. Heather's going to take us through some tips and tricks on where we can find stuff, how we can utilize the group. One of the best things that I think that we give to people is our ER Shred community. And I mean, it just literally sets you up for ultimate success. So Heather, without further ado, take it away.
All right, my friends, let's hope that this works this time.
I gotta find the screen too. There we go. Boom.
All right, my friends. So here we go. This is our ER Shred community. It's one of my favorite places to be. I want to guide you to how this community can actually empower you on your journey. So mine might look a little bit different than yours because I am an administrator, but we all have this menu bar at the top. On a phone or a tablet, there are usually little circles at the top. But the key here is the guides. And when you go into the guides section, everything you need for this community and this protocol is laid out. So going into tomorrow, spend some time in guide 1 and guide 2. Going in the next couple of days, we want to make sure that we spend some time in these first 2 guides, because this is really the success for the 11 days. So hopefully you did guide 1 preparing for tomorrow, because we have our grocery list, how to navigate the community, the manual with the instructions. And then guide 2 is going to dig you into what's actually happening. So when it's time to incubate your sheets, if you have any questions about that, the video's here. Jesse answers the common questions. Can I add? Spend some time in the frequently asked questions, because sometimes we're going to talk about some of the side effects that you might experience in those first 11 days. They are already answered for you. There's a video on cleanse days. There's our last kickoff video and our daily schedules. So guide number 2 is really where you live in these first 11 days. As we get through the first 11 days, check into the other guides. We go beyond the 11 days with a lot of information on how to introduce new food, how to share outside of social media. There's all kinds of other information that you could be looking into during your first 11-day protocol. But again, all the information you need is in guide 2. Mindset is a huge component of the ER Shred. That's all together for you in guide 5. Tips and tricks. Are you struggling with something? Do you need to know how to cook? Are you an athlete? Do you need tips on that? Check out guide 6. We have everything collected. And as we see more, we keep adding more. Guide number 7, we gave you books and documentaries. I love listening to books on my ride to work. I've got a 45-minute commute. So it's a great place to get some of those resources if you want to learn more about what's happening to our bodies on this protocol, Guide 7. And then the amazing Susan Rothman keeps giving us so much information about the holistic health behind what's happening to our bodies, what we need, how we can support with more ingredients. So the holistic corner that she has graciously filled with us about other pieces of information that we may be experiencing. Some of it has to do with ingredients in some of the protocol. So go ahead and check that out, and that is Guide 8. So the other thing I want to make sure we are all aware of is this magnifying glass. Because again, one of the goals of ER Shred is empowerment. And so if I'm looking for something, I saw a bunch of questions today around snacks. I'm going to click on the magnifying glass, which is going to search just within the ER Shred community and in this group. And I'm going to type in snacks because people are asking, what can I have for snacks on my protocol? So if I click the magnifying glass and I click snacks, I'm getting all kinds of options. You can see pictures of things that people have posted. You can see ideas for shake days. I will advise that you want to look for anything 2020 and more recent, as anything, this community has been around for a while. But you can see all of the comments around snacks. Or if you're struggling with a headache and you have some tension, go ahead and search and see what's going on and what recommendations have already been addressed, because sometimes it does happen. But that magnifying glass, pick a keyword, because you may or may not ask the question the same way somebody else does. But if you know what the key you're looking for, type just 1 or 2 words in that search bar, and it's going to generate for you all of the information that we're looking for. And it's going to focus. But again, my recommendation is to make sure the date is 2020 or 2021. Because 2016 and stuff go back to the original 9-day, 30-day system. So that may not be Shred approved, but it's also in there. So again, just be mindful of it. If something doesn't look right, check the date on your search results. But there's so much information out here. And then if you can't find it and you're still kind of gaining your mental clarity that we all love to see at the end of this, that's okay. Post your questions in the group. You'll have a response within, 5 minutes? I think minimum 5 minutes, somebody's going to be giving you some information. So that is my key piece on the protocol. Tune into the Facebook group, because there's a live Tuesday, there's a live Wednesday, there's a live Thursday. We are so engaged in this community to support you and set you up for success. So when in doubt, ask. We're here to help, but empower yourself to do some homework on your side as well.
For sure. Awesome. Thank you very much. And Heather is the one that set all this up for everybody. So definitely when you find success with them, notice how I worded that, because literally all you have to do is do what she just showed you to do. Yeah. I mean, we've taken all the guesswork out, guys. It's another part of the ER Shred that makes me so happy is the simplicity. I mean, how many years have we spent confusing ourselves and confusing other people, unfortunately, Susan? You know what I mean? Because of, all the stuff that we thought, and the simplicity is just so amazing. So thank you so much, Heather, for all of that. Next, go ahead.
The other piece I want to add, so say you're at work and you wanted to look at some of the guides and you're blocked from Facebook at work, you can go to ershred.com and you can access all of the guides under the 11-day protocol on our website as well. I have taken all of that information and brought it over to our website. So the same information carries through in both locations. But if you have shredders not on Facebook, if you're blocked from it because, maybe you're at work when you want to look, you can go to ershred.com and still have access to all of that amazing information.
Good tip. And then what other things do we have, Heather? We have a lot of stuff for people to tap into. So let's just share that real quick before Susan goes. You got like 30 seconds. So what else? Where else can people find ER Shred?
ershred.biz. If you're looking to share the shred forward, go to ershred.biz. That also has the guides in it as well. Yep. Along with sharing the protocol, what are some of the benefits? How do you shred for free? That's all in ershred.biz. And I would also encourage you, if you're thinking about sharing it forward because you've had such an amazing experience, join us in Shredders Unite as well.
For sure. And then what about things like YouTube? We have our
YouTube.
podcast, like literally anywhere, guys, that you can think. You can find ER Shred. You can find all the calls. You can get up to date. Like you're never missing out if you can't do something. Like Heather said, we do a live call Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday every single freaking week. We've done it for over a year. We're not stopping. If you can't show up at one of those, you can find us somewhere. Listen to us on the podcast or whatever. Okay. So anything else? You good?
That's all I got.
Okay, awesome. High five. Thank you so much. Okay, next up, Susan Rothman is on our holistic board of health. She is a holistic nurse. She's a professional herbalist. She is a mentor of mine. Anything that I get stumped on or can't think of the answer, I freaking go to Susan. Like literally, I go to Susan, and she's always been there for me for years. And we've really grown this mutual respect. And I love and adore you, Susan. You bring so much to this. I hope people understand the value with your holistic corner and the things that you're putting out there. This is 40 years of hands-on, real world experience, friends. I like let that sink in. Okay. 40 years on the job, on the floor as a nurse, working in functional medicine, like practicing, trying things, going through her own health drama, helping so many thousands of other people. Like you get this with her. And I just need you to understand that. She's freaking amazing. So without further ado, Susan, you got some tips and tricks that you want to share with these guys so they can crush their next 11 days. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So we're excited to have a new group starting. I think starting with Heather is so powerful because we've laid everything out for you. Those guys are absolutely amazing. So for me, I'm just going to go over some basics, and the basics are to plan ahead. Know what you're doing. Know why you're doing it. Sometimes people start things and they don't know quite why, and then things start to change, and then they're compelled to see what's really happening in my body. Use the group. The group is such a powerful resource on so many levels. And then just some basic stuff, planning ahead. A lot of questions today on snacks. Have snacks on hand. For me, I prefer food. So a hard-boiled egg, a scrambled egg. I use prosciutto, Black Forest ham. Read your labels. No sugar. You want clean, things that are clean. You can have beef jerky. You can have pork rinds. And then the other thing I want to talk about, and this is more about mindset. So follow your hunger. Follow your hunger. There is no caloric restriction. I can't tell you how many times I have to say this. It's like this. We're so entrained by these myths that we can't hear it. So there is no caloric restriction. Eat as much as you like, as often as you need to feel satiated. Jesse. I say that like so many times a day. But here's the thing. So it's about being mindful. It's about paying attention. We're all have similar issues where our head might tell you that you're hungry. Ask the question, pause, am I hungry? A lot of times that's a no. It's coming from your head. So this is a moment to really tap in and check where your head's going. Because the truth of it is we're giving you the tracks. The road is yours. And the question is, where are you? Where are you going? And how are you going to get there? And we're giving you the recipe to do that. And one of my favorite things is, on cleanse days, I can do hard things or suck it up buttercup. But one of my favorites is, and I stop and I say it out loud, like, just who is in charge here? When my head's going, but you could have that and it would be okay. And then like whatever that riff is that you got going, who's in charge here? And sometimes when you do that and you say it out loud or even clap your hands as you say it, it interrupts that process so that you can choose again. So the way I look at this, I had a conversation with someone last week. We all have different issues coming into this. Some people were eating more sugar than others. That can be problematic. It is an addiction. Give yourself a break, reach out for support on that. But in a lot of ways, what we're doing is we're getting out of the mud. We're getting out of the mud and we're taking a shower. And the mud is our thinking. So those are valuable things to hang on to. And then, we're challenging old beliefs and ideas. I'm doing this over a year now. October 5th was my year. And Yesterday, I made a bone-in ribeye and put that butter on there. And I think to myself, seriously, Susan? And seriously. So that's how we're living today. And me and Jesse have been talking like today. I think I'm going to start losing friends because the energy it's ridiculous. And so some days I just have to stay in my house. And I had like 5 or 6 people tell me today, you're glowing. And I just stayed quiet because the truth is I feel euphoric. And it's just about everything. I'm going to tell you guys, check out Heather's page today. She did a live on shredding. Keep these things in your consciousness as you go into cleanse days. Shredding old beliefs, shredding saying yes when you mean no, shredding not standing up for yourself, finding your voice, taking care of yourself, whatever it might be for you. Keep all these things in your mind because there's way more here than meets the eye. And the proof is everywhere, not only in the results and what we're seeing with weight and inches and health, but also in mindset. And people are really starting to share that. We're talking about that a lot in the group now. Use your support team, use the group, plug into the tools, because there really is, and you're going to see this. You're going to see this in your first week. There's so much depth here. It's going to compel you to take a look. So that's basically all I got. I can't wait to see the results coming in, and that's it.
Yeah, that was freaking amazing. That was a lot in a very that was a lot condensed. And hopefully, I heard a lot about, making sure that you plan. Obviously, that good old saying of, fail to plan to fail. Guys, it's 11 freaking days. It's 7 meals. You should know literally what you're going to have all 7 days. I would highly, highly, highly recommend that you do that. Know what you're going to have, plan out your dinners. Like I do this every week. It's so freaking easy. Like grocery shopping is like, some people stress it. Like I got it down to a science. Like literally Amazon delivers to my freaking front door. BJ's is ready and they bring it out to my truck. Like everything's planned out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because if you don't set yourself up, I guarantee you that life is going to get in the way. We have to start to use our common sense. One of the things that we try to push people to do is to start to think for themselves. And that's one of the things that I want to remind you to think about is start to think for yourself. You are your own best doctor. You are your own best doctor, right? As coaches, we are here to support you. We are here to, you know what I mean? To lift you, but you really are that person. So, make sure that you plan. Then Susan, you also talked about with mind, there was pieces about crowding out, obviously, right? You and I are always on that page. As people are planning, the list of food. I mean, you just started rattling that off, right? People are always like, well, I'm hungry. What do I eat? Like freaking eat. Like just keep eating the same food. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I know, you know what it is? It's so simple that it's complicated. It's so simple, it's complicated. It's like the greatest secret in the world. You are what you think about the most. You literally are what you think about and infatuate the most. Like you are, right? Your brain, you plant these thoughts, you plant these seeds, and whatever you feed, whatever you water, it's going to grow the same, right? I don't know if anybody's ever listened to that. It's one of my favorite things to put on my truck. It's called The Secret, right? By Earl Nightingale. And that's literally the secret. It's you are what you think about the most. And it took me freaking 30 something plus years to figure that shit out. And I still don't have it figured out. But the more you think about it and believe it, so you got to put that mindset in that right place. And all the foods, like this isn't starvation. This isn't deprivation. Like you have to be willing to unlearn to relearn, right? Susan, we've done a lot of unlearning to relearn because we were taught in the old ways of nutrition and health, and that's just kind of what it was. And through experimentation and years of trial and error and messing it up, we bring you all this amazing stuff. So amazing points with that. And then obviously, big thing is we talked last night about it if you missed it, but understand your bigger why. Right? Understand your bigger freaking why and realize that, especially if this is the beginning, okay, if this is the beginning, you have to really come to a place and say, okay, where am I at? And you have to accept that place. Even if you don't like it, it's okay if you don't like it. You know, my daughter Kaylee, she learned a hard lesson. She's training to be her black belt. She's getting her black belt, and she is in black belt training. And it's I'm so happy that they stepped it up. You know what I mean? Because all throughout, I was like, oh, they're kind of letting these kids go, and I'm all about like, yay, kids, but like. You know what I mean? And she learned a valuable lesson, and it was, you know, she didn't get to move on because of lack of intensity and because of confidence in her form. They could actually see that. So confidence is something that can literally affect a lot. So I need you to accept and believe that you are first worthy of the amazingness that's about to come. It's really, really important to get yourself there. So many people don't allow themselves that place. And with the bigger mindset of understanding your why, really accept where you're at and say, okay, here's where I'm at. I don't have to be happy. But what I need you to understand is when you come here specifically, you have everything. Like if you can't figure out from what these two amazing women just shared with you, that you have everything that you freaking need, okay? You are self-sabotaging yourself. You need to get the out of your own way. You need to get out of your own way. You need to kick your own ass. You need to slap your face. You need to do something to get out of your own way because everything that you need is here, right? This is my fun job of giving everybody a kick in the ass. They get to show you all the fun stuff and the guides, and I'm going to kick you in the ass because you need to be kicked in the ass. This is a good lesson. This is what the first shred will do for you brand new people. It's going to slap you. It's going to say, holy crap, food's the most powerful drug on the face of this planet, and you're going to learn that real quick. You're going to learn that real quick. And that's the beautiful thing is we don't waste time around here, right? We get down to it. So follow that. Look at what you're doing. Have that bigger picture. Look at all the food that you can eat. Remember what Susan just shared. This is not about calorie deprivation. If that's some shit that you need to shred, you need to shred it now before you start tomorrow. Do you understand? Lose that shit now. This is not calorie deprivation, okay? That does not work. It does not work. And if you want to argue with me, look at all the people on a diet, tell me what their results are, track them for 5 years, come back to me after you've done that research, and then we'll have a very educated conversation together. I guarantee you'll probably be on the same page at that point. Right, Susan? Mm-hmm. Okay, the truth needs to be told, right? So that's what we need to do. So with all of that, there's going to be some, you know, the path to success is not A to B straight line, even though we want it to be like that, right? Gosh, I wished it was like that. But what I learned is the path to success, whatever your definition of that success might be, because that's important that it's yours, it doesn't go in a straight line. And your journey with health is not going to necessarily go in a straight line. Okay. It's going to weave and it's going to turn and it's going to take a roundabouts and it's going to take some bumps and it's going to hit some dead ends. And that's all okay. I need you to understand that it's all okay. That's the beautiful thing about a journey, right? Is that it's a journey for a reason. It's not supposed to be over quick. So depending upon where you're at in your health, when you go through this, right? Why do we stress mindset? Why do we do all of that? Because you might have some bumps in the road. That's where you come back to the community. That's where you come and you show up every single day because you need it. I promise you. Community is everything. Community is everything. I've studied this thing called the blue chip zones, and I don't have time to get into it all, but it's literally the 7 places in the world where there's the highest concentration of centurions. That's people that live to be over 100 years or older. So the highest amount of people living to be 100 years or older. Guess what? A lot of it doesn't have to do with food. A lot of it doesn't necessarily have to do with just what they eat. So much of it has to do with community. So much of it has to do with feeling loved. So much of it has to do with feeling like you have a place. And that's what I'm so proud about this community. This is what we show up to do for people, right? And the people that make it then come up and help other people. So you got to tap in. You got to tap in. It's okay that it's a bumpy road. It's okay that it sucks. Sometimes you need to suck it up, right? Suck it up, buttercup, as I'm famously known to say. And you got to suck it up. It's okay. Like I need people to get a little bit tougher and stop the whiny shit because your health is so valuable. Your health is your greatest wealth. And if it's going to take you a couple turbulent days to get to the pot of gold, then you just need to do it. You're not going to feel any sorrow from me because I've been through that before. That's the beautiful thing. I've been there. I know. I'm going to read you my shirt. It says, let me pour you a tall glass of Get Over It.
I just say in my life, we are authentic and real in our group.
And we have fun. Lots of fun.
We do.
You know what I'm saying, ladies? Like, you, Heather, you went through it. You kind of, you were in the beginning. I remember, and look at you now. Look at you now. Like, you're freaking radiating through a dark room, for crying out loud. Like, it's just crazy, So that's kind of like, that's the message that I want to leave you guys with. Okay, is know that you can do hard shit. You are a human being. If you understood, if you study the inner workings of the human body, like Susan and I have spent like majority of our careers doing, because it's just fascinating, you would understand that you're the most epic creation that's ever been created. Like, you're designed to be, oh my God, this is why I love ultra marathons. Like, I want to push the limit to the brinks of like, what the hell can I do to break myself? You know what I mean? And it's like, it's such this crazy thing, because the human body, what I've learned, is like almost unbreakable if it's properly taken care of. It hurts. There's tough days. There's stress. There's all of that. I'm not saying it's peachy hunky dory, but man, can you do some epic shit? And I want everybody to feel like that euphoric feeling, right? And at the end of the day, I need you to keep this biggest thing. Whatever your personal why is, okay, great. But you deserve to be healthy. You deserve to not be in pain. You deserve to not feel like shit every day. You deserve that. I truly believe that in my heart, that every single person deserves that. If you felt the way that I feel every day, you would understand, like, I need people to feel that. Susan and I are like, she just did it today to me. She goes, I just feel so flipping good. It's just nuts. It gets better and better and better. Every single time you do it, the more you take care of yourself, the better it is. So do it for that bigger picture. Do it for that longer journey. Health is the long game, friends. There is no end goal. There is no be all. Like, why not feel better? Why not give more? Why not? Like, why not? That's what I'll leave you with. Why the freak not? So listen, we appreciate you all. Every single one of us, all three of us on this call, the rest of the board, Sean, Crystal, Bob, Adam, Colin, like every single one of us knows without a shadow of a doubt, if you just follow the 11-day protocol and you get out of your own freaking way and just do the do, I guarantee, we all guarantee on the opposite side, you're going to be a different person in some way, shape, or form. I don't know what the result's going to be for you, because every body's different. Every single body is different. It depends where you're at. But I do know that you will create change, and it will be a good change that if you put into, it will take you through and give so much other good into your life. It's just freaking amazing, and you all deserve that. So, Susan, any last things that you want to leave with?
No, just let's do this.
Heather, any last things you want to leave with?
Let's crush it.
Let's crush it. Okay, ladies, I appreciate you guys. Listen, everybody, kick some serious ass. We can't wait to see you on the calls this week. We can't wait till the end of 11 days to celebrate you and your epic freaking testimonials and transformations. But remember, that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning, because you deserve so much freaking more. Have an amazing night. We'll talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.